Welcome to Tab Briefs, a weekly look at headlines from the world of faith for May 22nd, 2020. I'm Tab Media Content Editor Carrie McWhorter, and here are some of the headlines that grabbed our attention this week. Churches without choirs, a look at how clergy and scientists are grappling with singing in the age of coronavirus. Alabama Baptist colleges announced their plans for graduation and for fall classes, and the ongoing persecution of Christians in India. First up, as the coronavirus began to spread, choirs came under close scrutiny. After a March 8th performance of a choir in Amsterdam, more than 100 singers fell ill with COVID-19. 4 people connected to the choir died. In Washington State, members of a choir met in March for a rehearsal, and within 3 weeks, 45 members fell ill with COVID-19 symptoms. 2 members there died. Dozens of choir members in Berlin and in England also became sick earlier this year with COVID-like symptoms, according to news reports. These events have been deemed super spreader events by some and have led to 2 important questions as churches begin to hold in-person services again. Is group singing now a public health threat? And is singing right up there with coughing and sneezing in its potential to spread the coronavirus? Scientists, unfortunately, don't have a definitive answer. Jamie Lloyd-Smith, an infectious disease researcher at UCLA, says the answer is maybe. Lloyd-Smith co-authored a study published in March in the New England Journal of Medicine. In that study, researchers found that when the virus was suspended in a mist under lab conditions, it remained viable and infectious for 3 hours. However, researchers said in real-world conditions, that time period would probably be no more than 30 minutes. Lloyd-Smith said it's possible the forceful breathing action of singing could disperse virus particles throughout a church room. But another researcher, Professor Christian Kahler of Germany's Military University in Munich, disagrees. In his research on droplets and aerosols, Kahler has found that singers propel air less than 2 feet, which he says is not far enough to cause the infection levels of the choir outbreaks. Kahler believes it is more likely that the super spreader events involve the sharing of food and drink tables, perhaps hugs, and close conversations. So in other words, it was the social nature of the events that were more to blame than the singing, in his opinion. As U.S. churches begin to meet in person again, many are choosing not to sing, at least for now. Reverend John Wivlith, director of the Calvin Institute of Christian Worship, told Religion News Service that he is urging extreme caution when it comes to congregational singing and is recommending that choirs hold off on singing together for the time being. And Brian Hinn, director of the Hymn Society's Center for Congregational Song, is working with church leaders to devise recommendations for worship in Catholic and Protestant congregations. Within the past few days, a number of Alabama Baptist churches have released their plans for resuming public gatherings, and Tab has reviewed several of those plans. We didn't see many specifics related to congregational singing, but we did see quite a few churches who said that for now, choirs won't be meeting. We'd be interested in hearing what your church is doing when it comes to congregational and choir singing. You can let us know in the comments or send us an email. Next up, officials at Alabama's 3 Baptist colleges are joining most of the state's public colleges and universities in planning to resume on-campus instruction in August for the fall academic term. University of Mobile plans to resume on-campus classes in residential housing in the fall, with classes set to begin August 17th. UM's Spring 2020 graduates are encouraged to celebrate their commencement with fall grads on December 12th. Samford University is also planning to be back on campus in the fall. Classes there are set to begin August 24th, with spring graduation tentatively rescheduled for August 13th through 15th. And Judson College is planning an outdoor commencement on June 27th and plans to resume face-to-face instruction on August 20th. Yesterday, Alabama Governor Kay Ivey announced schools could reopen beginning June 1st. And all 3 Alabama Baptist colleges told Tab Media they will be following guidelines provided by the state. The leaders also said that the lessons they've learned during the transition to online learning back in March will strengthen their future use of technology. And finally, in India, a pastor and 7 others who were putting together relief packets for the poor were accused of gathering too many for worship amid the coronavirus lockdown in their country and were arrested. According to Pastor Ramesh Kumar, he and other Christians were preparing the aid packets on April 25th when police stormed in and detained them and 4 others who were helping. Pastor Kumar said the group was trying to answer the call of India's Prime Minister to help feed poor families during the lockdown. The pastor attributed the arrest to a newspaper article that alleged the church had continued to meet during the lockdown, but the pastor said the church last gathered for worship on March 21st, prior to that lockdown date. India's Uttar Pradesh state has been one of the most hostile states against Christians for the last 3 years. Persecution Relief documented more than 45 cases of hostilities against Christians in the first 3 months of 2020, on track to surpass the 109 cases recorded in all of 2019. On April 28, the U.S. Commission on International Religious Freedom urged the U.S. State Department to add India to its list of countries of particular concern, a list of nations with poor records of protecting religious freedom. India is ranked number 10 on Open Doors' 2020 World Watch list of the countries where it is most difficult to be a Christian. Those are your tab briefs for May 22nd, 2020. To read more about these and other stories from the world of faith-based news, go to tabonline.org. And while you're there, check out our other podcasts, Tab Talks, Tab News, and soon Tab Stories. Thank you for joining us, and we hope you'll join us again next Friday.